Brian Pay here. This video is on the wedge and the bounce. If I get set up to a golf ball, and that golf ball, as we were taught, to be played off the back foot, handle way forward, what that's going to do is it's going to take the golf club and de-loft the wedge, so now the wedge is pointing more along the ground. And as the handle goes more forward, this sharp edge is going to get exposed to the ground. So as I get set up to it here, you'll notice how far or how big of an angle this shaft looks to the camera. So if I was going to hit a shot, if my handle is this far forward, it's going to take my wedge that has 56 degrees of bounce. If it's 12, 15 degrees forward, now it's almost hitting a pitching wedge or a 9-iron. It's turned that wedge into a 40-degree wedge. So if I hit a shot here with the handle too far forward, and I land the golf club behind the ball, you can see there that that club dug into the ground. Some grass came up, and I got some grass in between the club head and the ball. If I hit it too far back and it comes up too fast, I can get those bladed shots. So while using the bounce, what we want to look for is, as opposed to the handle that's way forward, we want to feel like the shaft is more neutral. As I'm doing so, the loft is going more to the sky. Also, that leading edge is coming off the ground. So if I got set up to a golf ball where the ball's now, as opposed to off the back of my foot, more to the middle of my narrow stance, the shaft has a little bit of lean to it, so the club grip is slightly in front of the head. From here, as I'm hitting a chip shot, that golf club's going to slide a little bit better. You can also see I landed it a little bit behind. There was a little bit of the leading edge, but that club slid and got the golf ball in the air as opposed to crashing into the ground. Let's take a look at these slow motion videos from a tight lie. So here you can see, we'll start on the left video, that the shaft is slightly in front of the golf ball or leaning towards the target. The angle here is 85 degrees, so the shaft's leaning forward 5 degrees. As we go through the swing and come into impact on the way down, the club's going to land right about where the golf ball is. And if we measure out this angle, we'll call that 83 degrees. So there's going to be 7 degrees of shaft lean. As long as the wedge has more than 7 degrees of bounce, that leading edge will be slightly off the turf. And as it comes into contact with the ground, it's going to go ahead and slide across the ground. If we go to the right video here, I'll put the angle back on. So it's starting at the same 85 degrees. As we catch that club on the way down, coming into impact, you'll see that the handle is slightly in front of the golf ball, but the wedge actually touches the ground right here at this moment. And if we take the reading real quick, we're going to guess and assume, again, 83 degrees, so 7 degrees of shaft lean. There's going to be more bounce, or enough bounce on this wedge for this golf club to interact with the turf and slide across the ground. The wedge here is 10 degrees of bounce, so it's definitely more than the shaft lean. If the wedge was a low bounce, a 4 degree, this golf club might have caught the turf unless I was doing well at controlling the arc height so it didn't dig into the grass. So in chipping, to have functional shots, make sure to have a clean wedge face as you're chipping, as we want to have a golf ball somewhat in the narrow stance. It could be a little back, it could be a little forward, but the golf club itself is going to be more vertical as opposed to way forwards. That way we can use the club how it's designed when hitting these little chip shots.